Lucius Annaeus Seneca, a Roman philosopher and Stoic thinker, believed that to live a fulfilling life, we must become dedicated students of life itself. In his powerful essay on the shortness of life, Seneca reminds us that time is our most valuable asset, non-renewable and irreplaceable. Unlike money, which can be earned or lost, time is a finite resource that slips away with every passing second. This video explores 10 essential lessons from Seneca's Stoic philosophy on managing time wisely, enriched with modern insights, practical tips, and real-world examples to help you live more intentionally in today's distraction-filled world. Seneca's Stoic teachings emphasize focusing on what's within our control and letting go of what isn't. In an era where we're bombarded by notifications, social media, and endless to-do lists, his advice is more relevant than ever. A 2023 Pew Research Center study found that people spend an average of 6.3 hours daily on digital devices, often on activities like scrolling social media or watching videos that add little value to their lives. Seneca's wisdom challenges us to reclaim our time and use it to build a life of purpose. Let's dive into his first lesson on treating time as a precious commodity and explore how to apply it today. 1. Treat time as a commodity. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us that while people are careful with their money or possessions, they often squander time without a second thought. He writes that individuals are cautious about protecting their material wealth, but reckless when it comes to wasting time, the one resource we should guard most fiercely. Time is not just valuable, it's irreplaceable. Unlike money, which you can earn back through work or investment, time is a finite resource that dwindles with every moment. Seneca's insight pushes us to view time as a commodity, something to be budgeted and spent wisely, not carelessly discarded. Imagine seeing someone tossing cash into the wind on a busy street. You'd think they'd lost their mind. Yet, every day we let hours slip away on unimportant tasks or distractions, treating time as if it's endless. In reality, our time is limited, and its total amount is unknown. A 2024 report from the World Health Organization estimates average global life expectancy at around 73 years, but this varies widely, and no one knows their exact allotment. This uncertainty makes every second even more precious. To grasp time's value, consider real-life scenarios. A student who fails a year feels the weight of 12 months lost. A parent whose child is born prematurely cherishes every week of progress. An athlete who misses Olympic gold by a millisecond knows the cost of a fleeting moment. Seneca's point is clear. Wasting time is more irrational than wasting money because time cannot be replenished. Money can grow through effort or luck, but time is fixed, ticking away regardless of how we use it. When we fritter it away on mindless scrolling or unfulfilling obligations, we're throwing away opportunities to grow, connect, or pursue what matters. Research from the University of California, Irvine, shows that the average person spends 2.5 hours daily on social media, often without intention, which adds up to over 900 hours a year. Time that could be invested in learning a skill, building relationships, or simply resting. To treat time as a commodity, start by tracking how you spend it. Apps like Toggle or Rescue Time can reveal where your hours go, helping you identify patterns of waste. Create a daily budget for your time, allocating specific slots for work, leisure, and personal growth. For example, set aside 30 minutes each morning for reading or exercise instead of checking your phone. Seneca also suggests reflecting on death to sharpen your focus. Knowing time is limited motivates you to prioritize what aligns with your values. By valuing time as a scarce resource, you can shift from passive drifting to active living, ensuring each day counts toward a life you're proud of. 2. Don't invest your time. Preparing for life. Seneca warns against the trap of endlessly preparing for a future that may never arrive, urging us to live fully in the present. He observes that those who meticulously plan every day as if it were their last neither fear nor obsess over tomorrow. Too often, we pour our time into preparing for a perfect life, saving for retirement, chasing promotions, or waiting for the right moment to pursue our passions, only to let the present slip away. Seneca challenges this mindset, arguing that happiness shouldn't be deferred to some distant future, like waiting until age 65 to enjoy life after retirement. The future is uncertain, and banking on it risks squandering the only moment we truly have. Now, in today's world, this lesson is critical. Many of us fall into the someday trap, believing we'll be happy once we achieve a specific goal, a better job, a bigger house, or financial security. Yet, a 2023 study from the Journal of Happiness Studies found that people who focus on future-oriented goals often report lower life satisfaction because they neglect present joys. Seneca compares time to a fleeting stream. It flows quickly, and if you don't drink from it now, it's gone forever. Picture yourself in a desert, parched and stumbling upon a stream. Would you wait to drink, unsure if it'll dry up? Similarly, we must seize the present, using our time to create meaning today rather than postponing it. Seneca's advice aligns with modern mindfulness practices, which emphasize staying grounded in the moment. For example, a 2024 Harvard Medical School report highlights that mindfulness reduces stress and improves mental clarity by focusing on the present, echoing Seneca's call to live now. Instead of spending years grinding for a future that might not unfold as planned due to unexpected events like illness or economic shifts, start small today. If you dream of writing a book, write one page this week. If you want to travel, plan a weekend getaway rather than waiting for a grand vacation. These actions anchor you in the present while building toward your goals. This doesn't mean abandoning planning altogether. Seneca encourages preparing for the future, but not at the expense of today. Your 30s, 40s, or beyond deserve thought, but don't let them overshadow the current moment. A practical step is to schedule present-focused time daily, perhaps an hour for a hobby, a walk, or connecting with loved ones. Reflect on what brings you joy now, not what you hope will someday. As Seneca notes, when we reach old age, we often regret not living more fully in the moments we had. By embracing the present, you ensure that regret doesn't define your later years, creating a life rich with experiences rather than what-ifs. 3. Live life for your own self. Seneca teaches us to live authentically, not just to exist by going through the motions. He states that a long life isn't measured by years or grey hair, but by how fully you've lived for yourself. Many of us chase dreams, like a perfect career, a dream home, or an ideal relationship, but get stuck in unfulfilling jobs to pay bills or relationships we tolerate to avoid loneliness. Seneca warns that this is merely existing, not living. We let external pressures, society, family, or routine dictate our choices, leaving us tossed around by life's demands. In today's world, with constant notifications and social expectations, it's easy to lose sight of what we truly want. Living for yourself means prioritizing your values and passions, not just fulfilling obligations. A 2024 Gallup poll found that 60% of workers feel disengaged in jobs they don't enjoy, spending years in roles that drain them. Seneca would argue this is a tragic waste of time. Instead of coasting through life, showing up for duties while being absent from your true self, take control. Being busy is a choice, often a distraction from pursuing what lights you up. For instance, spending hours on social media or gossiping might feel productive, but it pulls you away from meaningful growth. To start living for yourself, Seneca suggests introspection. Ask, if I had more time, what would I do? If I could change one thing about my life, what would it be? These questions can reveal desires, like switching careers, getting fit, or exploring a hobby. A practical step is to carve out time for these pursuits. Wake up an hour earlier to write, paint, or exercise. A 2023 study from the University of Oxford showed that engaging in personally meaningful activities, even for 30 minutes daily, boosts mental health and life satisfaction. If you don't know what you want, experiment. Try a cooking class, volunteer, or read a new genre to discover your spark. Seneca's advice also aligns with modern psychology's concept of self-determination, which emphasizes autonomy in decision-making. Living for others' expectations, whether it's a parent's career advice or society's push for status, leads to regret. The longer you delay, the more you build someone else's dream instead of your own. For example, if you hate your desk job but love woodworking, start small by creating a side project. Platforms like Etsy show how hobbies can become fulfilling ventures. By investing time in what aligns with your core self, you craft a life that feels vibrant and true, not one defined by external pressures or fleeting distractions. 4. Practice premeditatio malorum. Seneca teaches us to combat procrastination by preparing for obstacles in advance, a Stoic practice called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. He notes that while we hesitate and delay, life passes us by. Procrastination often stems from a conflict between seeking instant gratification, like scrolling through social media, and pursuing long-term goals, such as finishing a project or studying. In psychology, this is known as time inconsistency, where our brains prioritize immediate rewards over future benefits. A 2024 study from the American Psychological Association found that 20% of adults chronically procrastinate, costing them productivity and mental well-being. Seneca's solution is to anticipate what could go wrong and plan around it. Premeditatio malorum involves visualizing potential distractions or challenges before starting a task. For example, if you're writing a report, you might predict interruptions like phone notifications or the urge to check email. By identifying these hurdles, you can create strategies to avoid them, turning off notifications, setting a timer, or working in a quiet space. This preparation makes you 2 to 3 times more likely to follow through, according to research from Stanford University's Behavior Design Lab. Seneca's approach is like mental armor, equipping you to face temptations head-on rather than being derailed by them. In practice, premeditatio malorum can be applied daily. Before a busy workday, take 5 minutes to list what might sidetrack you. Maybe a chatty coworker or a tempting streaming service. Then, design your environment to minimize these risks. Inform colleagues you're focusing for an hour or log out of entertainment apps. This aligns with modern productivity techniques like temptation bundling, where you structure your environment to support your goals. For instance, a writer might keep their laptop offline to avoid browsing, ensuring they stay on task. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that procrastination isn't just laziness, it's a failure to plan for our human tendencies. This practice also builds resilience. By mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, you reduce their emotional grip. If you're nervous about a presentation, imagine forgetting your lines and plan a recovery, like keeping notes handy or practicing deep breathing. A 2023 article from the Harvard Business Review highlights how anticipating setbacks boosts confidence and performance under pressure. Seneca's premeditatio malorum isn't about pessimism, but empowerment. By preparing for the worst, you free yourself to focus on the task at hand, turning time into a tool for progress rather than a source of stress. 5. Make long-term rewards. Immediate Seneca highlights procrastination as a major thief of time, stating that putting things off robs us of the present while falsely promising a future we may never have. The urge to delay is strongest when starting a task, as our brains crave instant gratification over distant rewards. Even with distractions removed and a plan in place, the temptation to choose an easier activity, like browsing social media, can overpower our intentions. Seneca's insight is that expectancy, the gap between short-term impulses and long-term goals, fuels this struggle. To overcome it, we must make the rewards of our efforts feel immediate, bridging that gap to make starting less daunting. This idea is backed by modern behavioral science. A 2024 study from the University of Chicago found that people are more likely to tackle tasks when they associate them with immediate positive outcomes, a concept called instant reward bundling. For example, if you dread writing a report, pair it with something enjoyable, like allowing yourself to watch a favorite show only after completing a section. This creates a tangible incentive to start. Seneca's wisdom aligns with this. By linking long-term goals to short-term pleasures, you trick your brain into action. If you're studying for a degree, reward an hour of focused work with a coffee break or a quick chat with a friend. In practice, this strategy can transform your productivity. Suppose you procrastinate on exercise. Instead of focusing on the distant goal of fitness, make it rewarding now. Listen to a podcast you love only while on the treadmill. A 2023 article from the Journal of Behavioral Medicine notes that such pairings increase adherence to habits by 30%. Another approach is to break tasks into smaller chunks with mini rewards. For a big project, set a goal to draft 1 page, then treat yourself to a snack. This not only makes starting easier, but also builds momentum. Apps like Habitica gamify tasks, offering virtual rewards for progress, which mirrors Seneca's call to make effort feel worthwhile in the moment. Seneca's deeper point is that expectancy, waiting for a far-off payoff, steals our present. By designing immediate rewards, you reclaim control, turning time into a tool for growth rather than a source of delay. This approach also fosters self-discipline, as you train yourself to value progress over fleeting distractions. Whether it's a small treat or a sense of accomplishment, making rewards immediate ensures you're not just planning to live but actively living each day with purpose. 6. Make the most of your free time. Seneca emphasizes that life is not inherently short. What makes it feel brief is how much of it we waste. He argues that we're given enough time to achieve great things if we invest it wisely. Many of us work long hours to earn money and free time, only to squander that precious leisure on meaningless activities like binge-watching shows, scrolling social media, or lingering in unproductive conversations. Seneca's call is to treat free time as a valuable opportunity for growth, connection, and fulfillment, not as something to fritter away on distractions that add little to our lives. In today's world, free time is often consumed by habits that don't serve us. A 2024 study from the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that Americans spend an average of 5.4 hours daily on leisure activities, with over half of that time on screens, watching TV, gaming, or browsing online. This aligns with Seneca's warning about wasting time on irrelevant things. Instead of letting free time slip away, use it intentionally. For example, during a lunch break, instead of eating at your desk or scrolling, read a book, take a walk, or practice mindfulness. A 2023 study from the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology showed that brief breaks spent on enriching activities like journaling or stretching boost energy and focus for the rest of the day. Seneca's advice extends to evenings and weekends, where free time is more abundant. Rather than defaulting to passive entertainment, pursue activities that align with your values. Meditating, learning a skill, or spending quality time with loved ones. If you work in a city, visit a local museum, join a community class, or start a book club, as Seneca might suggest making the most of your surroundings. For instance, platforms like Meetup show thousands of local groups for hobbies like photography or hiking, turning free time into opportunities for growth and connection. Even small actions, like writing a gratitude list or exercising for 20 minutes, can transform downtime into moments of purpose. This approach also challenges the culture of overwork. Many people sacrifice free time for extra hours at a job, believing it's productive, but Seneca warns that those hours are gone forever. A 2024 Harvard Business Review article notes that prioritizing leisure improves mental health and creativity, making you more effective when you do work. To apply Seneca's wisdom, set boundaries, limit overtime, and protect your free time like a valuable asset. By filling it with meaningful activities, you break free from mediocrity and build a life that reflects your deepest priorities, ensuring your time off fuels your growth rather than drains it. 7. Spend time reflecting on your past. Seneca teaches that a life feels short and anxious for those who ignore their past, neglect the present, and fear the future. He views time in three parts: the present, which is fleeting; the future, which is uncertain; and the past, which is fixed and unchangeable. While modern time management often focuses on planning for the future or staying present, Seneca emphasizes the importance of reflecting on the past. By revisiting our experiences, we gain self-awareness, learn from mistakes, and appreciate how far we've come. This reflection makes us more effective today, extending the value of our time by grounding us in lessons already learned. Reflecting on the past isn't about dwelling on regrets, but about understanding who you are and how you've grown. A 2024 study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that regular self-reflection improves decision-making and emotional resilience by helping people recognize patterns in their behavior. For example, if you've struggled with procrastination, reflecting on past instances might reveal triggers like stress or lack of planning, allowing you to address them now. Seneca's approach encourages setting aside time to think deeply about your journey, perhaps through journaling or quiet contemplation, to uncover insights that shape your present actions. In practice, reflection can be structured. Try a weekly 15-minute session where you ask, what went well this week? What could I have done differently? What lessons can I carry forward? Write down your thoughts to track progress over time. A 2023 article from the Greater Good Science Center highlights that journaling about past experiences boosts gratitude and clarity, helping you see growth you might otherwise miss. For instance, you might realize that a tough job taught you resilience, or a failed project sparked a new passion. This aligns with Seneca's idea that the past is a teacher, offering wisdom to make your present more intentional. Reflection also counters the tendency to compare ourselves to others, which can obscure personal progress. Social media often fuels this, showcasing highlight reels that make our lives seem lacking. By focusing on your own past, you measure success against your own journey, not someone else's. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that time spent understanding your evolution builds a stronger sense of identity and purpose. It's like combing through an old photo album, not to stay stuck, but to celebrate how far you've traveled and to chart where you're headed next. 8. Stop wasting time in life's trivialities. Seneca urges us to recognize how much of our lives we lose to trivial pursuits, noting that those who wonder why life feels short should consider how little of it they truly own. We often let time slip away on activities that serve no real purpose. Endless scrolling on social media, binge-watching shows, or chasing fleeting social approval. In today's world, these distractions are designed to consume our attention. A 2024 report from Data Reportal shows that the average person spends 6.8 hours daily on digital devices, with 2.2 hours on social media alone, often mindlessly browsing posts or reacting to notifications. Seneca would see this as handing over our most precious resource to pursuits that don't enrich us. Trivialities also include time spent on obligations that don't align with our values, like saying yes to every request or chasing status for its own sake. Seneca warns that constantly giving time to others, whether through endless meetings, small talk, or people-pleasing, leaves us with little for ourselves. A 2023 study from the University of California, Berkeley, found that people who overcommit to social or work demands report higher stress and lower life satisfaction. Instead, Seneca encourages us to guard our time fiercely, prioritizing activities that reflect our personal vision. If someone asked you for $20 every hour, you'd refuse, but we often give away hours to unimportant tasks without a second thought. To break this cycle, audit your daily habits. Track a day's activities using a notebook or app like Notion, noting how much time goes to things like gaming, social media, or unproductive conversations. Then replace one trivial habit with something meaningful. Swap 30 minutes of scrolling for reading a book, learning a language, or practicing a craft. Platforms like Coursera offer free courses on everything from photography to coding, turning idle time into skill building. Seneca's point is to live for yourself, not for external validation or fleeting entertainment. For example, instead of playing a mobile game with no lasting value, try journaling or sketching, which fosters creativity and self-awareness. This shift requires saying no more often. A 2024 article from the Harvard Business Review suggests setting clear boundaries, like declining non-essential invitations or limiting email checks to twice daily to reclaim time for what matters. Seneca's wisdom is a call to focus on substance, relationships, personal growth, or creative pursuits, over shallow distractions. By cutting out trivialities, you create space for a life that feels full and intentional, ensuring your time serves your own goals rather than slipping away on what's easy or expected. 9. Invest your time. Creating new memories. Seneca reminds us that life races forward while we're distracted, and death arrives whether we're ready or not. He encourages us to invest our time wisely, like a shrewd investor seeking the best returns. The greatest return, Seneca suggests, comes from creating new memories, experiences that shape who we are and bring lasting fulfillment. Instead of chasing fleeting pleasures like luxury or endless leisure, which often lead to regret in old age, we should focus on moments that endure. Memories from meaningful experiences outlast material possessions and enrich our lives far beyond the moment they occur. Modern research supports Seneca's wisdom. A 2024 study from Cornell University, led by psychologist Thomas Gilovich, found that experiential purchases, like travel or learning a new skill, deliver more enduring happiness than material goods. Unlike a new gadget that loses its shine, memories of a hiking trip or a family gathering grow richer with time, shaping our identity and perspective. For example, buying an expensive watch might feel exciting briefly, but trekking through a national park or cooking a meal with loved ones creates stories you'll carry forever. These experiences become part of who you are, as Seneca implies when he urges us to live fully in ways that leave a lasting imprint. To create new memories, step out of your comfort zone. Try activities that challenge you, like taking a dance class, volunteering, or traveling to a new place. Platforms like Airbnb experiences offer unique local activities, from pottery workshops to guided city tours that spark connection and discovery. Spending time with people you care about is equally vital. Organize a game night or a simple coffee date. A 2023 article from the American Psychological Association notes that strong social bonds built through shared experiences boost mental health and longevity. Even small moments like stargazing or trying a new recipe can become cherished memories if approached with intention. Seneca's deeper point is that memories are a form of wealth that can't be taken away. Unlike material pursuits, which often distract us from living, experiences ground us in what matters. To apply this, plan one memory-making activity each month, perhaps a weekend hike or a visit to a museum. Reflect afterward on how it felt to be fully present. By investing time in experiences over possessions, you build a life rich with meaning, ensuring that when you look back, you're filled with gratitude for moments well spent rather than regret for time lost. 10. Invest your time in philosophies. Seneca concludes his wisdom on time management by asserting that the most worthwhile use of our time is studying philosophy, as it allows us to truly live and expand our existence beyond the limits of our years. He describes those who dedicate time to philosophy as the only ones who are truly at leisure, for they not only guard their own lifetimes, but also connect with the wisdom of all ages. Philosophy, meaning lover of wisdom, is the pursuit of truth, virtue, and understanding life's deeper questions. For Seneca, it's a guide to inhabiting our brief existence fully, helping us live widely rather than merely long, enriching our days with purpose and clarity. In today's fast-paced world, philosophy might seem abstract, but its practical value is immense. A 2024 article from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy notes that studying philosophy sharpens critical thinking, improves ethical decision-making, and fosters resilience in facing life's uncertainties. By engaging with ideas from thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, or modern philosophers like Martha Nussbaum, you learn to navigate challenges with perspective. For instance, Stoic principles can help you focus on what you control, your actions and mindset, while letting go of external stressors like workplace drama or global news. This mental clarity saves time otherwise lost to worry or indecision. To apply Seneca's advice, start small. Dedicate 15 minutes daily to reading philosophical texts, Seneca's Letters from a Stoic, Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, or even accessible modern works like Ryan Holiday's The Obstacle is the Way. Books condense centuries of wisdom, as Seneca suggests, adding the insights of past thinkers to your own life. A 2023 study from the University of Warwick found that regular reading of philosophical or reflective texts boosts emotional well-being and reduces stress by encouraging introspection. Alternatively, listen to podcasts like The Daily Stoic or Philosophize This during your commute to absorb ideas on the go. These small investments compound, shaping how you approach time, relationships, and goals. Philosophy also offers a framework for living intentionally. By questioning what matters, truth, virtue, or fleeting pleasures, you align your time with your values. For example, if you value creativity, philosophy might inspire you to prioritize writing over mindless scrolling. Seneca's call to annex every age means drawing from universal truths to make your days feel expansive. Join a local philosophy discussion group or online forums like Reddit's Stoicism to share insights and stay motivated. By investing time in philosophy, you don't just manage time, you transform it into a canvas for a meaningful, examined life. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Seneca's timeless wisdom to master your time and live with purpose. If you found value in these Stoic insights and want more practical tips to build a meaningful life, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time.